Hey, what's happening everyone? SirJames coming at you guys with another video. In today's video, I'm here to give you guys a product review courtesy of Nyko, and it's this item here, which is the Nintendo Switch thin case. And the way I look at it is that this is a really good starter accessory for any new Switch owners, because one, not only are you getting a case for the Switch, two, the case is also compatible with the official dock, meaning that you don't need to remove the accessory in order to use it. And of course, number three is that this also includes a glass screen protector, which is usually the first thing that I always recommend people is to always get a glass screen protector. Even if you don't think that you might want it, you should get it regardless, because it's a $300 investment, and the first thing that you want to do is to, of course, protect it some way, shape, or form, especially the screen itself. Now, let's go ahead and start with the basic in terms of pricing. What are your different options for this? What do you get inside the box, and what do I think overall? Pricing of the item is actually very inexpensive at $12, which you can get on Nyko's website, Amazon, and of course over at GameStop, though GameStop does charge $17, $18, so do keep that in mind. As for the different options, there's actually three color options. The first one that I have here, which is actually the red and blue combination. So for anyone who bought the Nintendo Switch with the neon red and blue Joy-Cons, this will be a great combination, though do keep in mind that you don't actually have to get the proper colors. So if you have the Switch with the gray Joy-Cons, you could still go for the color option. It's all about personal choice. It's totally up to you. There's also a smoke variant, which is more of a darker gray or a lighter black, and there's one that's just, well, clear, meaning there's no color variant, nothing. It's just a clear case, very easy going. But this one is my personal favorite because, you know, you got the nice color scheme going around the entire Switch, the backside, and especially if you have a skin on the Switch, it could even give it an added effect, which I'll show you guys that in just a few minutes. So inside the box, of course, you are going to get this booklet, which folds out, which will basically show you how to install the glass screen protector, or you could see tutorials on YouTube, and we'll even show you how to install the thin case. Now, as far as the assembly goes, it's actually pretty straightforward. Some people might have difficulties with the glass screen protector, but once you get that down, the rest is pretty simple. You also get this little piece of paper in here, which is basically making sure that you secure the hinges. That way, you know, the thin case doesn't tend to come apart. You also, of course, have the glass screen protector right here, good to go. I didn't use one because I already had one since I first bought the Switch during launch, so it's always nice to have a spare if I were to ever ruin mine, which the chances of that are pretty much zero. And of course, you also do get two wipes. You do get one for wet and the other for dry. So there you go. And of course, you also get the Joy-Con covers here. You have one in blue and one in red. Again, depending on what color variant you go with, these could be a different color for you, or just no color at all. Now, as far as putting these on the Joy-Cons, it's basically straightforward. All you need to do is take your Joy-Con and line it with the analog stick first through the opening. Once you get that through, you could go ahead and push everything together. Very easy. Now, the reason why I'm not demonstrating that right now is because I actually already own a thin case, but when Nyko sent me the it was that charger that I reviewed last week for the Switch, they also included another thin case. So this is more of just showing you what's in the box portion. And of course, last but not least, is two pieces that will attach to the tablet. You have the first one here, which is a thin little bezel piece that will go for the top portion. And what I like too, because this is the red and blue combination, you got the color scheme that goes all the way around, for the half of it being blue and the other half being red. But you can see it a bit better on this back portion, hopefully right there. But it's really hard to see on camera, but you'll see it a lot better in just a moment. But what I like about it too is the fact that it's not just, okay, red and blue. There's a nice design to it, is because right here it starts off as a bright dark red, then as it goes forward to the center, it tends to fade out into white. Same thing for the blue portion, you got the nice dark blue, and then as you push forward towards the center, it fades into white once again. So again, that's a really nice touch. The other thing I like about the thin case is that it's a see-through plastic. You might be thinking, okay, what's the big deal? It's not a big deal, but for cosmetic purposes, it's actually a really nice touch, because if you happen to have a sticker or a skin on your Switch, this could add an extra effect to it to make the design pop out even more. To demonstrate that, the best way I can do possible is that I bought this skin right here at Best Buy. This is the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Princess Zelda skin. And so as you can see, for Princess Zelda, this is the skin that I use for the back of the Switch. And of course, I also use the one that goes onto the dock because it just gives it a nice design. So if you take something like this skin, for example, and the red and blue thin case, you get a combination that will basically look like this. And honestly, that's a really nice touch because it fades into white in the center. You got Princess Zelda there trying to get a shine of hope with, of course, you know, good versus evil vibe going on. It's just a really, really cool tone. Now you might be asking, how does this product actually work with the dock? Because usually anything that you add on to the Switch, just any small amount of accessories makes it unusable with the dock. Well, you'll probably notice on the back side, there's this cutout here on the left and right hand side. And basically, because if you look inside the actual Switch dock itself, you'll notice there's these 4 prongs or pieces that kind of stick out on the corners. And because those are cut out, it makes it to where these don't get in the way at all, thus making it easier to slide into the dock, which I'll go ahead and demonstrate that right now. So here it is. Here is the thin case. And boom. Simple as that, no issues whatsoever. So if you've been wanting to use it with the dock, you can go ahead. But for me, I personally play in handheld more than anything. So the fact that it's still compatible with the dock is just a nice touch. Now, the other thing that I like about the thin case is, of course, you still have access to everything that you need, your game card slot. If you still wish to use it in tabletop mode, again, there's a cutout for the crappy kickstand on the Switch. It's not the best kickstand in the world, but you still have access to it. There's no hindrance whatsoever if you want to remove the Joy-Cons. That's probably the only one thing to kind of keep in mind, is that for the Joy-Cons, you're going to have to kind of push in a little bit more because of the covering, but you could still remove them without an issue. It's just a slightly extra, a little bit more effort, but not too much of a big deal, to be honest. And the other thing that I like too is the coating on the actual case itself, because it's got this rubberized finish to it, which means that when you're holding the Switch in hand, you feel like you got a much more of a better grip than anything, at least based on anything that I have ever used thus far. Because a lot of the accessories that I've used before are usually like these silicone cases, especially the ones that go over the Joy-Cons, but those products tend to dry out my hands quite a bit. But for here, I definitely don't get that issue whatsoever. So whatever quality that they used on this is definitely top-notch in my opinion. But again, the thin case is pretty neat, but do keep in mind there are going to be some limitations. So if you happen to have another accessory, like maybe another attachment, so here we go. Here's another one, like the one I reviewed last week, the power pack. I tried to use the thin case with the power pack, but unfortunately I was forced to remove the thin case in order to use this product. But again, if I had an external battery, it's really not a problem. But again, do keep in mind that there's going to be some slight limitations depending on any additional accessories you add on top of this. But other than that, it's a really nice case in general. I see it as a really good beginner's option. But if you're just kind of looking for a case in general that you could still use, have on it, and still use it with your dock, definitely can't go wrong with this. But in the end, I'm actually going to be giving this product a 4.8 out of 5 stars. Again, the only down issue is that it's not compatible with additional accessories, and the fact that you're going to have to push in, basically make a little bit more effort to remove the Joy-Cons instead of just like a nice easy slide in, slide out feature. But until then, I am SirJames from Gamerfuzion.com, and of course, it is really hot, so I'm going to go ahead and cool off in the pool. I'll see you guys next time.